It's Friday, June 24th, 2022, and welcome to Episode 9 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Piehler. In this edition of the Postcast, Grand Street improvements are on the way, the plot thickens around McKay Avenue, Alameda USD issues a statement on Measure B, and your trash pickup just got more expensive. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story: after this Wednesday's City Council meeting, Grand Street is in line for some major renovations in the name of pedestrian and cyclist safety. The council approved a plan that will serve as part of the city's Vision Zero, an effort to eliminate traffic deaths and severe injuries by 2035. The plan covers Grand Street from Shoreline to Encinal and includes resurfacing and repairing the street, pedestrian safety improvements such as flashing beacons and high-visibility crosswalks, new bus islands, narrower vehicle travel lanes to reduce speeding, and bike lanes that will physically separate cyclists from traffic. The renovations will have the effect of reducing parking on Grand, a point raised in an opposing petition signed by over 100 Grand Street residents. The residents also cited reduced visibility when backing onto Grand, as well as increased double parking by delivery vehicles. The majority of written and spoken commentary was in favor of the proposal, with much of the support coming from parents who approved of the separated bike lanes as a safer way for children to cycle to parks and schools. Mayor Marilyn Ezzy Ashcraft expressed her support, but was concerned if the plan properly met the guidelines of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Councilmember Trish Herrera Spencer voiced her opposition, noting that despite the city adding protected bike lanes, fatalities among drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians have all increased in the past 2 years. She favored a greater emphasis on speed bumps, stop signs, and enforcement. The final vote was 3-2 in favor, with amendments to address specific concerns. Mayor Ashcraft was joined by Vice Mayor Malia Vela and Councilmember John Knox White. Trish Herrera Spencer and Tony Desog cast dissenting votes. For full details, see Karen Jensen's article at alamedapost.com/top. Trivia: do you know the original name of Grand Street? I'll let you know at the end of the podcast. Last week on the Postcast, we reported on the events of the Planning Board meeting relating to the former Maritime Officers Training School property on McKay Avenue. This past March, the Planning Board, with the backing of the Alameda Historical Advisory Board, approved the demolition of the facility and the creation of a senior convalescent living facility, which would house up to 100 individuals. At the time, renovation of the existing structure was deemed to be prohibitively expensive. At the most recent Planning Board meeting, it was revealed that the Alameda Architectural Preservation Society, AAPS, had filed an application to place the existing building on the National Register of Historic Places. As reported by Post publisher Adam Gillett in his article entitled, "Whose Application Is It Anyway?" that's just the beginning of the story. The application was filed by Alameda resident Carmen Reed, who indicated her affiliation with AAPS. The Post then received a copy of a letter from AAPS President Karen Lithgow, which informed the Planning Board that Ms. Reed was acting on her own and was only indicating her membership with AAPS. After reporting this new information, the Post received a message from Doug Biggs, the executive director of the Alameda Point Collaborative. Mr. Biggs provided documentation showing that in a phone call, William Berg, state historian with the California Office of Historic Preservation, asserted that, quote, Ms. Reed was a consultant to the AAPS and was submitting the nomination on their behalf, end quote. This turn of events has resulted in controversy. City Council member John Knox White has been outspoken about the application, expressing his displeasure on Twitter, saying this was AAPS, quote, continuing to try to have their cake and eat it too, end quote. The Post is continuing to monitor this developing story. You'll find the latest at alamedapost.com. The primary election was June 7th. While some ballots are still being counted, the results have been coming into focus these past few days. The most closely followed item for many in the city has been Measure B, the Alameda Unified School District funding proposal. This Wednesday, AUSD Board of Education President Jennifer Williams and Superintendent Pascal Scuderi issued a statement saying, in part, quote, the majority of the ballots cast by Alameda voters on June 7th have been counted, and currently 56.34% of those ballots were yes votes. While a comparatively small number of ballots have yet to be counted, we are cautiously optimistic that Measure B will maintain the required threshold of 55% approval. End quote. Until the vote is fully counted and certified, we will continue to provide any updates at alamedapost.com. COVID vaccinations have now been approved for those as young as 6 months. Here on the island, vaccines are available at pharmacies such as Walgreens, CVS, and Safeway. Scheduling assistance is available online at myturn.ca.gov. You can also visit alamedaca.gov and search appointments. On the subject of COVID, with school out for the summer, the Alameda Unified School District has opened the Alameda High School COVID testing site to the community. The walk-in PCR testing facility is at Alameda High Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 at the 2200 Central Street entrance. For details, visit alamedaca.gov and search Get Tested. Effective July 1st, you're going to pay more for garbage, recycling, and organics pickup. Alameda County Industries is instituting a 4.18% increase in collection fees. For a 32-gallon container, this means an extra $1.43 per month. For details, visit AlamidaCountyIndustries.com/Alameda. Time for one last trip to the shore. This month, our popular walking history tours have been exploring Alameda's changing shoreline. A lot of what we now call shore wasn't there before. This week is the perfect example, the creation of the South Shore. It started in July of 1955 when Utah Construction pumped 1 million cubic yards of sand into what was then the shoreline. The immediate result? Flooding and controversy. Join Dennis Evanosky as he shares what led to our lagoons and even the landfill for the Alameda Hospital. For tickets and details about this fascinating bit of island history, visit alamedapost.com/tours. Now a look at upcoming events of interest to the Alameda community. Check out the grand opening of Books for Friends, the used bookstore that benefits the Alameda Free Library, thanks to the efforts of the Friends of the Alameda Free Library. The space has been open since March, but now Books for Friends is ready for their close-up. You're invited to the main library on 1550 Oak Street from noon until 4, Friday and Saturday. The Friends promise special promotions and some added fun on Saturday. Visit alamedapost.com/events. Closing weekend is upon us for a pair of theatrical productions. Altarena Playhouse ends its run of The Quality of Life. For tickets and show details, visit altarena.org. We Players wraps the world premiere of The Keeper, inspired by real-life stories of over 100 women who served as lighthouse keepers from Maine to California. For more details, visit weplayers.org. Both shows close with matinees on Sunday. Looking ahead to July 4th weekend, it's the return of the Alameda Summer Art Fair on Sunday, July 3rd from 11 to 5. Local artists, art demonstrations, kids' activities, live music, and more. Visit alamedaartfair.com. And after a 2-year hiatus, the longest Independence Day parade in the nation is back. 3.3 miles long, the City of Alameda's 4th of July parade features over 170 entries and 2,500 participants and attracts spectators from across the region. It all kicks off with the Race for Midway Shelter 5K at 9 a.m. Details at alamedapost.com/events. In Alameda news around the web, the Bridgeside Shopping Center has been sold to DJM Capital Partners, a California-based private equity developer, and their financial partner, PGIM. The plaza, which was built in 2006 and is anchored by the Nob Hill grocery store, reportedly sold for in excess of $50 million. Details at businesswire.com, search Bridgeside. Monday's Warriors Championship Parade in San Francisco had an interesting effect here in Alameda. As noted on their Twitter account, the San Francisco Bay Ferry recorded their biggest ridership day since 2017, totaling 14,105 passengers, which included record-breaking ridership for the Seaplane Lagoon route. That's it for this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Visit our website, alamedapost.com/newsletter, to sign up for our weekly newsletter. It's free and will never give or sell your personal information to anyone. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. Oh, Grand Street? It was once known as Leviathan. I'm Scott Piehler, and I'll be back next Friday for episode 10 of the Alameda Postcast.